Bayern Munich CEO Jan-Christian Driesen has taken a sly swipe at Liverpool after the Reds outmanoeuvred them in the race to sign Florian Wirtz. The Bundesliga heavyweights had been hot favourites to secure the German international's signature. However, Liverpool, led by Arne Slot, managed to outwit both Bayern and Manchester City, convincing the 22-year-old to leave his homeland for Anfield. The Merseyside club shattered their transfer record to bring in the Bayer Leverkusen playmaker at the end of June, frei in a deal that reached a staggering £116 million, a British record at the time. Bayern were left smarting from missing out on the midfielder, and have since taken several potshots at both the player and Liverpool. Driesen has now joined the fray, insisting that Bayern can afford any transfer, but hinting that such a hefty fee is not in line with the club's ethos. He also took the opportunity to mention Liverpool and their financial situation, lamenting the superior income available to Premier League clubs due to the lucrative broadcasting deals. "We can afford any transfer we want," he told Welt am Sonntag. As quoted by Bild, "We have an excellent capital ratio. FC Bayern is doing very well, but we want to be able to pay a player without having to run to the bank. That's not FC Bayern's DNA. The bottom team in the English League, at €125 million, has €60 million more in media revenue than us. Liverpool has €200 million, while FC Barcelona and Real Madrid each have €160 million. Wirtz has had a quiet start to his Liverpool career, failing to score or assist in the Premier League during the first 2 months of the season, attracting criticism both in England and Germany. Daniel Sturridge has suggested that Liverpool are feeling the absence of Luis Diaz following their third consecutive defeat at Chelsea on Saturday evening. The Reds were left reeling after Estevao netted a 95th minute winner for the Londoners at Stamford Bridge, marking another setback for Arne Slot's team. The 2-1 loss meant Liverpool relinquished their top spot in the Premier League 2 at Arsenal, having suffered from last-minute winners 2 weekends in a row, following on from a 2-1 defeat at Crystal Palace the previous Sunday. Despite winning their first 5 Premier League matches as part of a 7-game winning streak across all competitions, Liverpool have not been at their best, often relying on late goals to secure victories. Over the summer, Liverpool splashed out £450 million, breaking the British transfer record twice to bring in Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak. However, this spending spree was balanced by several high-profile departures, including Diaz, which brought in over £200 million. Other players who moved on included Trent Alexander-Arnold, Darwin Núñez, and Jarell Quansah. Diaz made a move to Bayern Munich in a deal potentially worth £65.5 million and has hit the ground running with the German giants, scoring 6 goals and providing 4 assists in his first 10 appearances. Szoboszlai would do it in the midfield with that power and dynamism that he has. For me, Luis Diaz, how tenacious he is on the ball and how hungry he is to get it back for his team. He brought something to Liverpool that they are now missing. I think Ekitike and Isak and Wirtz work hard. I'm not saying they don't. We can't question their work rate or their quality. But what I will say is that they are attack-minded players. I think with Diaz would sacrifice himself defensively. That's what they've got to figure out now. Who in that attack's going to give themselves up a little bit? In a front three, there always has to be one guy who goes, "I'm not stats hungry." You see Gakpo this year scoring more goals, Salah scoring less. The new strikers want to hit the ground running. So I think Jamie Redknapp, fellow Sky Sports pundit and former Reds captain, questioned the balance in the midfield, but I also think it's in the front three. It's important to understand which one of three is going to be the workhorse, who's going to be the one who does what he wants, and who's going to be a hybrid of both. Right now, I'm not sure the manager knows what he's going to do. The choice to offload Diaz wasn't the sole decision that left Sturridge scratching his head at Stamford Bridge, as he also criticised Slot's call not to field Wirtz from the off against Chelsea. "I think today's the type of game you need a Wirtz," he said. "Someone who can create something, get the ball in his feet, move it, advance it, maybe win a free kick." Szoboszlai gives you that running and pressing power, but these are the games they signed Wirtz for. The quality on the ball he brings is exceptional. Alexander Isak has delivered a frank verdict on Liverpool's heartbreaking last-gasp defeat to Chelsea as the Reds fell to a third consecutive loss. Arne Slot's side relinquished their position at the Premier League summit to Arsenal, following Estevao's dramatic 95th-minute strike at Stamford Bridge. The crushing 2-1 defeat came hot on the heels of back-to-back defeats against Crystal Palace and Galatasaray, with Liverpool also shipping a stoppage-time winner during last weekend's loss at Selhurst Park. Isak acknowledged that suffering defeat in such circumstances is the worst feeling in football, and whilst he remains optimistic the Reds can bounce back following the international break, he accepted their performance against Chelsea fell short of expectations. "I think we started off pretty bad," he said. "We worked our way into the game pretty well. I think we came out for the second half and really gave everything to get the result. In the end, it's obviously tough conceding in the last minute like that. In the same way that winning like this is the best feeling, I think it's the worst to lose in this type of way. We created chances, enough to score, but it just wasn't enough today. We just have to keep working hard, bounce back, and get back to winning ways." I think the belief is there that we can bounce back. This team has shown many times. It's never easy, of course, but hard work and working on details and getting back to our best. We have that belief. Isak was given his second Premier League start for Liverpool against Chelsea and set up Cody Gakpo's leveller as he continues to regain match sharpness following a disrupted pre-season at previous club Newcastle United. The Sweden international acknowledges he hasn't reached peak condition yet, but remains optimistic about the campaign ahead as he provided an insight into his progress. "I feel good. I've been working hard to get back to my best," he told LFC TV after the final whistle. "Still working to get back to my best form, but it was good to play out there again today. I was hoping for a different result, but we keep working. I'm very excited for the whole season ahead. Game by game, we have to improve if we want to achieve the things we want to. But I'm really excited." Mo Salah couldn't escape the deafening Galatasaray atmosphere as Liverpool crashed to their second straight defeat. A penalty from Victor Osimhen sealed the night in Istanbul, leaving the Reds under huge pressure in the Champions League. Mohamed Salah shielded his ears from the deafening Galatasaray atmosphere as Liverpool suffered their second loss in as many games. The Reds succumbed to a 1-0 defeat to the Turkish powerhouses in the Champions League on Tuesday night. It follows a narrow 2-1 loss at the hands of Crystal Palace at the weekend, in which Eddie Nketiah scored the winner for the Eagles late in stoppage time. On Tuesday, meanwhile, Victor Osimhen's first-half spot kick sealed the deal for the hosts. Throughout the encounter, Liverpool's players faced a menacing reception from the home supporters, and it seems that Salah, who was surprisingly listed amongst the substitutes, had to protect his ears from the deafening crowd, reports the Liverpool Echo. Following his warm-up, he was seen returning to his position with his hands clasped over his ears, which speaks volumes about the daunting atmosphere Liverpool were required to withstand. Salah was ultimately brought on as a second-half replacement, though he couldn't rescue the match. Explaining his decision to start Salah on the bench, Liverpool manager Arne Slot said, "We have many games to play in the coming days. We have a big game coming up. We have to utilise our squad, and utilising doesn't always mean from the start. Players can come in as well. In many of our games, players have impacted the game, coming off the bench. And indeed they were talking about the last time Mo scored 3 coming off the bench against Rangers. And I know who the manager of Rangers was. That is my current assistant, Gio van Bronckhorst. So they've spoken about this already." Meanwhile, Liverpool midfielder Curtis Jones insisted the hostile atmosphere played a part in the Reds' frustrating night in Turkey. He explained, "It's always hard when you lose games, of course it is, but I thought the lads played well. There were positives from the whole of the game. In the second half they played in a low block, and they are a physical team as well. The fans were behind them for the whole night, and it was a hard game, but we'll go again. I got kicked everywhere. But again, I say it all the time, this is the Champions League, and it is always going to be a hard game. It's their biggest game of the year, I'd say, and I think it showed with the fans and how the players played as well. If you look at their first game, they get beat 5-1 by Eintracht Frankfurt. And if you look at it tonight, it didn't even look like we could have scored. That is just how the game went. Liverpool will be looking to bounce back this weekend when Slot's travel to face Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Salah will undoubtedly be keen to find the net against his former club, having netted 3 times in his opening 9 outings this campaign.